rules in the class, and I have some comments to make. The first thing is please always mute yourself when you join the class. We are much. Assuming we are like 10 or 20, I'll be able to control the class in terms of seeing who is talking and what. But I can't, so we are much. Please, I beg you. And I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say this, but I have some of my um old students in this class. They are working already anyway. They're my boss now, and they know me so well. The thing is, we might be friends out there, but in the class we are not friends. We might be friends outside of the class. Why? Because if you're making the money, I'm happy. I want you to make the money, right? I don't want to see you as friends. We go out, we go for parties, and probably I'm spending money and you're just sitting down. I'm not happy with it. Let's spend the money together. Let's be happy together. Right? Get a car. Let me get a car. But not me getting a car and you're just there, I don't like it. Be happy. So if I'm in the class, the way I talk in this class, don't be surprised. When people say I'm rude, well, they don't say it to my face, probably to people that actually invite them to the class or probably mutual friends, that I'm rude when I'm teaching, I'm proud of that. Well, please, I'm using this opportunity. I want to use this opportunity to uh, say I'm sorry at the moment because when that time comes, don't complain. I'm sorry if you feel I'm rude. I'm not rude. I'm not. But I feel okay if I'm serious in this class, you should be serious as well. I will call your names. Well, we are much, but I will look for names and call. This class is going to be an interactive class. Very, very interactive. Not too much grammar. I'm not here to speak grammar. Well, I will speak vernacular at some points, you know, what we call broken anyway. Um, it's a pity we don't understand. So we have Igbos and we have Yorubas here, so I can't speak Yoruba and I can't speak my language at those states. So the thing is, this I will explain. I will give you scenarios in layman terms, not too much grammar, right? If I actually make mistakes, don't worry about it. All right, I'm not here to speak grammar because I notice even at work, right? My principal will tell me. So my consultant will construct some notes and put some vocabulary in it. My principal will say, no, take it off. You are talking to clients. You don't do that. Let it simple. Let it make it simple, very simple, and submit. All right. So I've actually imitated that style to teach. I will explain to you so well. If you don't understand, you can reach out to me, not by call. My WhatsApp is there. All right. If you don't understand and you're reaching out to me, I know you're serious. Yes. I know I have a few friends that are trying to call me, but you can never get me because I'm always busy. So please, the way I talk in this class might be funny, but no, that's where I've been. I was actually taught that way as well. Right? I was actually taught that way by a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, my senior anyway, very close, and it's my senior. When I say senior, we talk every day. In the evening when we meet, it's a different ball game entirely. So, and I actually took it serious back then. So I want you to take it serious as well. What else? I'm going to give you assignments, but to the serious one. And if I give you assignment, if you ask for it and I give you and you don't do it, this is it. If you ask for an assignment and I give it to you, and if you don't do it, it's a problem. It's a big problem. So I'll be running the class for 3 weeks. Max, I wanted to do it for 2 weeks, 4 hours, but I'm actually putting myself in your shoes that watching the video of 4 hours is not nice. So my videos are not going for everybody. Many are called, few are choosing. My videos are not going for everybody. There's a pattern to it. Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is John Aigbe. What else? Anyway, I'm from Nigeria, Edo State to be precise. Born and brought up in Lagos. Schooled in Lagos, served in Lagos, worked in Lagos. Well, I can't speak my language. Married with a kid. What else? Yeah, I work with a consulting firm as a manager. Prior to that, I work in the banking industry as a VP. So anyway, I used to be an IT auditor before I switched into third-party security risk management. So basically similar, but third party is more easier, as in way easier, if you understand the fundamental of security. If you understand the fundamental of security, you will definitely enjoy third party. The process is very easy. I tell you, very easy, very easy. The process is very easy, but you need to understand the fundamental of security. I give you guys a video to go watch, and I think I sent a link to a book. I'm still reading. I used to read that book to date. I still read it to date. I have it here. I have it here with me anyway. So I'm using the 501. I think I gave you guys the CISO one to get. It's not compulsory. You have to finish that book in one day, but it's like a reference book. So I've been teaching for the past 4 to 5 years, and my style is I don't take too much people in the class, but the thing is I think now I know how to control my class. Even if you have much, I can control the class. I charge though, but this class I'm not charging. I do charge, and whatever I charge, if you're not serious, I give you back your money. That was what I used to do back then. But later I realized that, okay, you know what? I'm also spending my time. So if you actually pay for the class and you are not serious, I'll give you half of your money. So anyway, this is free class. Please take it serious. It comes once in a lifetime. Please take it serious. I keep pondering on that before we start. Okay, today I won't spend much of your time. And please remember, this is an interactive class. You will see my pattern of teaching. It's not me just talking and talking and talking. I will ask you a question. There's no stupid answer, no stupid question, no stupid responses and all that. Please. So if I call you, say something. I like you when you say something, but not just being quiet. Let's say something. Okay, we're all grown up here. Okay, what do we understand by third party? Third party. What do you understand by third party? Anybody want to try? What do you understand by third party? Or before then, let me say this. Third party is actually carved out of cybersecurity. No, I take that back, from information security. Cybersecurity is carved out of information security. Third parties carved out of information security. We have a lot of compliance style of security amidst information security itself. We have a lot of compliance security. When I say compliance, I'm referring to like risk management framework. It's called NIST. It's a framework. We have what else? We have, yeah, third parties there. We have ISO, International Standard Organization. That is a standard. It's well recognized. I have a mentor in Dubai. He's focused on ISO. ISO is big, very, very big. I have people that actually got jobs during my through my mentor as well. So what else? Yes. So we have a lot. Why for the technical part, we have SOC, that's Security Operations Center is there. We have CyberHack. CyberHack is an application, is an IAM tool. Identity and Assets Management. Identity and Access Management. We have SailPoint. Those are technical tools. There's a lot of technical tools for
Sorry, are you recording? Are you recording?
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, thank you so much. So there's a lot of them, a lot of technical side of security. But the thing is, if you are doing the technical side of security, you have to be very, 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 very grounded. Very, very grounded. Some you need to understand. Some you need to understand JavaScript, a little bit of scripting, or Linux and the likes. But yeah, there are jobs out there for it. I was out last night with a friend of mine who is a senior manager with one of the consulting firm in San Antonio. So we were together last night. And he was actually telling me that if I have people that are actually looking for job in CyberHack, that he has 3 space for them. I said, okay, that I have 1 person. So those are the kind of opportunity. I'm sorry to say this. I know our time is fast spent, but the thing is, I need to say this to motivate you guys, right? The kind of friends, the kind of people you work with really matters in life. Yes. I'm sorry to say this. I don't pick friends, but I have different carcass. And if you are ready to move with the right carcass, definitely you will see them. Right? So opportunity comes within as well. Yeah, we have opportunities, get opportunities from people you don't know, but there are some friends you work with, definitely opportunities. Networking is very key. One of them is what I just inform you guys now. Being with my friends and opportunities are actually coming for CyberHack. I know he used to have a lot of roles because he interviews a lot. He actually work in a big firm. So we were just out there in the club, yes. And he just said to me, okay, 3 space for CyberHack. Fine, good. In my company too, my boss just told me yesterday, okay, yes, if I have someone, but the thing is that role is not an assessment role. Probably you understand what I mean next time. It's not an assessment role in third party, it's a strategic role. I was thinking that I said, but my boss told me, okay, no, we need someone that understands strategy of third party, that knows how to build, not just building, but there are some other areas in third party. But this class is just for assessment. There's a lot of assessment roles than strategy roles. So you need to understand assessment before understanding strategy, right? So that is it. All right, I think that's enough for. Let me start recording. Then keep the ball rolling. I'm not used to Zoom. This is for my wife. She actually uses this for training. I don't use it. I'm sorry. Looking for the recording. Okay. Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, what do you understand by third party? Yeah, I have my definition saying a third party is defined as an entity that works on behalf of the organization, but are not its employees, including consultants, contingent workers, clients, service providers, suppliers, affiliates, and any other person or entity that accesses customers, company confidential or proprietary data, and or system that interact with that data. Okay, second definition. Third party that access in any manner customer or company confidential proprietary data or system that interact with that data presents unique risk due to the inability to directly address how they control access to those systems and data. So at this point, do anybody want to try what you understand? You don't need to define. Let me tell you, I only use slides, but listen to what I'm saying, listen to my explanation. Listen to my scenarios. That will stick, but forget about slides. I just use it for formality's sake. I don't like using slides because reading my slides will not give you on the job knowledge. Yes, it's just like using slide. It's just like, okay, you are reading just to read, but that's interview stage. What you need to say, how you need to do the job, is not in this slide. So slide, forget about my slide. It's just a formality purpose. I don't just want my screen to be blank, but my explanation, my scenarios is what you need to listen to. Please, I beg you. So, does anybody want to try what's you understand by third party? I'll call names. Adeyemi Abiodun. Just tell me what you understand by third party.
Yeah, third party risk is the potential threat that is presented to organizations, employee, and customer data, financial information, and operations from the organization's supply chain.
Okay, nice one, nice. So, any other person want to try?
Can I go?
Hello?
Mention your name and.
My name is Adebi.
Okay.
Third party, as the name refers, it's when there's an exchange between a giver and a receiver. Then a third party comes in to view or to steal either personal information or any kind of information that is not supposed to be seen.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Hello. My name is
Name.
Nike.
Name.
Hi, my name is Nike.
Okay.
I think third party is like a person relating, besides two other people, involved in a situation. So I think that's a simple way to define it. Some other person involved.
All right. I want two more people.
My name is
Hello, my name is Linda.
Linda. Okay.
Yeah, third party risk is like a form of a risk management that focus on identifying and reducing risks relating to the use of third party stuff.
Okay. Last person.
My name is
Hello, my name is
okay.
Now I want a guy to talk.
My name is Adewale.
Okay.
Third parties are other users of a company data other than its employees.
Okay. And what's your last name, please?
Akinde.
Okay.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, my name is Monisola.
Mrs. Monisola, I know you. I don't want you to talk.
Okay. All right.
Hello, my name is Kainde Olukole.
Oh wow, beautiful.
I would say third party risk management is a process that is used to monitor and manage interactions with external parties.
Okay, thank you. I think we've gotten enough of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for participating. So yeah, what we say third party, these are entities. These are people. It might be someone, it might be one person, it might be an individual, it might be a body, it might be an organization, it might be two people involved. It might be a contractor. It might be an independent contractor. It might be a consultant, that is actually involved working on behalf of an organization, working on behalf of a company or a firm, but they are not their employee, right? They are not an employee of that particular organization. They're just working on their behalf. What are they doing? They're actually trying to provide a service on their behalf or provide a solution on the organization's behalf, right? Probably they might not be having access. Yes, this definition is saying they might have access that any other person or entity that have access to customer. No. I know where this definition is coming from. It's coming from a body called CTPRP, that's Certified Third Party Risk Professional, but I'm challenging this definition. It's not only, they might not just be having access to companies' data. Yes, let me say why. You might have, let me give you a scenario so that you know what I'm saying. The thing is, if I have a janitorial service coming to your organization, right, that will not have access to customers' information or to company confidential data. They're just coming to clean the restroom. Once they clean the restroom, they're out, right? That is a third party as well. All right. So understand that point of who the third party is. It might have access to customer information, or they might not. But understand the fact that who is a third party. A scenario of a third party as well. Another scenario. In my organization, the name of my organization is called J Hotspur. J Hotspur Global Solution. In J Hotspur Global Solution, what we do, we provide consulting service, we provide exporting service, we export products, agricultural products and the likes, right? So I have people actually working for me temporarily. What are they doing for me? They are not my employees, but they are providing a service for me on my behalf. They are helping me to source for products for that time being, for 3 months. When they source for product for me, I pay them off. During that period they're sourcing for product, I need to run a background check on them. Why am I running a background check? Can someone tell me why I'm running a background check on that third party?
Good morning. This is Temitayo Olaniran.
Can you say your name, please?
Temitayo Olaniran.
Temitayo Olaniran.
Yes.
All
so
right.
I would suggest that you're running a background check to see if they have any criminal activities, if they are connected to people that might hinder the company or your work in any way.
God bless you. Any other person want to try?
Yeah, to check the credibility.
Name.
Ayo.
Ayo what?
Ululeyo.
Thank you so much. I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, to check the credibility.
All right. Awesome. So, see, these questions, if I ask questions in the class, please always take note of these questions. These are interview questions, right? I don't have written interview questions. I don't do it, but this set I'm going to do it. But just note that, okay, as I teach, I will remember some interview questions that I've done and that I've actually interviewed people. I ask questions, right? So I don't just ask, okay, what do you do? Tell me about yourself. No. There's kind of question I ask, and I want to know if truly you are doing this job. I'm sorry I'm saying this. Yes. So So I'll ask you some questions. Please take note of those questions. All right. Yeah, so we just defined a third party right here. So third party actually having access to customer or company confidential or proprietary data, systems, Yes, we have third parties that's actually working. If you're working on a hospital, maybe let me tell you, I don't know if you guys know about Epic. Yeah, I know some people know about Epic. If you go for Epic, do you know you're a third party to that company, to that hospital? You're a third party to them.
Yes.
Good. Because, and again, they run background check on you before you access their data. So that is an example of a third party. A contractor working for just 6 months in your organization is a third party, because that staffing agency that actually hired you have run background check on you before you actually move in. And sometimes you will hear some staffing agency will tell you, oh, go for drug tests, go for this and all that. Those are assessments. Those are assessments basically, right? Those are assessments being run on you before you start using their laptop, because you will be having access definitely to either to the customer data or to employees' data. All right, let's move on. I have my boss here to do some check and balance on me. Mr. Geoffrey, I hope I'm doing so well. Am I trying?
You're doing so well, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's move on. What's the difference between when I say third party, right, and third party risk management? This TPRM is third party risk management. I want someone to tell me. I'm going to give you $10. Difference between just saying, okay, third party. We define third party. Now we want to define the third party risk management. If you know, if you can point on that difference, I will give you $10.
Okay, let me try. My name is Neka.
Your name is what?
Neka.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. So the difference for me, in a layman's language, for the third party risk management, is like the process whereby we're used to prevent there being a form of risk or a form of disadvantage to the company hiring the third party.
Okay.
So, yeah, in a nutshell. So that's like the process which is going to make sure there's no risk of that third party coming into this this contract between the company and the other person. So the process that whereby everything goes on.
All right, thank you so much. Someone raised that. Steve. I want Steve to talk.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Basically, third party risk, like you asked, is like you've defined it already. So the third party risk management is how you manage those subcontractors you explained to us earlier.
This is one of my boss. I never knew you are using Steve here. That's a scam. Anyway, any other person want to try?
I want to try, please.
Hold on. I see.
Adebi.
Mr. Adebi, you actually.
I have a very good answer. That's why.
Okay, I'm listening, sir.
Okay, this there was a scenario. I hope you remember. There's a guy called Edward Snowden during the Obama regime. He was a contractor used by this national NSA, Office of the NSA, National Security Advisor. To get to get everybody's whoever uses phone, all the information, they get them stored somewhere, whoever talks some kind of languages that are not appropriate, So when he was a contractor, he finished his job, but he was able to steal some information away from the American government. Okay, by the time they gave them to this guy, WikiLeaks, and then they published it, and everybody in America saw this information and was not happy. He ran out of United States. Is now a refugee. I mean, living in Russia because he cannot come home. He's going to be jailed because he was Edward Snowden. He was able to, while working under as a contractor with the government, he stole some of the information that was not supposed to, he was not supposed to release out. So that's a proper risk of a third party. Hiring a third party and stuff.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I want to know, my question here is, how do we manage Is okay. I think I'm giving you guys expo, yeah. How do you manage? Okay, how do you manage third party? Let me answer that question. When you say third party risk management,
This is Ayodiji Alabi.
okay.
I would basically define managing third-party risk management, by actively putting some processes in place to make sure that they don't go out of hand, like IT security controls and all that good stuff. Because if they're going to be looking at sensitive information and data information, we want to make sure that there are some certain protocols in place to manage the risk associated with their processes.
Thank you so much. What's your last name again?
Alabi.
Alabi. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's a very good one. I think we need to move forward. That's a very good answer. Mr. Yodeji Alabi, send me an IM after the class. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. Third-party risk management is just a simple way of managing the risk of your third party. How do you manage the risk of your third party? Making sure there are certain controls are in place, not just security controls. There is a lot of controls out there, different controls you can put it, not security alone. Controls in terms of, excuse me, controls in the area of financial controls are there, right? Controls in the area of compliance controls are there, because there's a lot of organizations whereby regulations are being in place. In healthcare, where we have EPA, right? There are certain controls you need to put in place in those areas. Regulatory controls, excuse me. Certain regulatory controls that need to be in place, right? Not just security, as I mentioned. So there are operational controls as well. So there are different controls you need to put in place. Very, very key, very, very important. So let's move on. If you have any contribution, please, no problem. You can put it in the chat, on our WhatsApp group. Good. Okay, there are different risks that are posed to an organization. There are different kind of risks that are actually posed to an organization, right? I just mentioned some few controls here. So if you have risk in those areas, you should also always have a controls to mitigate those risks, right? Not just, you need to have a sufficient control. We need to have a sufficient controls. So anyway, these are the risks that are actually posed to an organization, right? Security risk, compliance risk, reputational risk. There are other risks, but we won't talk about them now, right? Let me put this to you guys. If you have an interview, let me know. Anytime you have an interview, send me an IM. Send me the screenshot of that interview, because let me say this to you. Okay, I won't say this now, but once you have an interview, let me know. I don't want to confuse you guys. My boss in the class, they know what I mean. So, excuse me, 1 second. I'll show you guys something, but not now. So anyway, we have security risk, we have compliance risk. I just explained to you the compliance part of it. When you have, if you're working in the banking industry, financial industry per se, there's a lot of regulations, a lot of standards that you need to follow. We have FFIC, we have OCC, Office of the Controller of Currency. We have, what else do we have in the financial industry? Anybody want to give me one? Any of my boss want to give me any regulations? We have acts. We have in the financial industry.
Yeah. Can I talk? This is Chibuzo.
What's your name?
Chibuzo Malquin.
Okay.
Yeah. You have the payment system where people use their credit cards.
Okay. Probably you're talking about PCI DSS kind of.
That's in the financial system.
Okay. Thank you. Any other person want to try?
This is Ayodeji again. I would say the BSA Act of 2001 for compliance under the AML and transaction monitoring area.
Okay.
Hi, it's a days, and I would say SOX compliance.
Oh, that's my friend right there. Okay, thank you so much. We also have, okay.
My name is Monisala. We have GLBA.
Awesome. I was waiting. GLBA. GLBA, that's okay. GLBA is
Gramm-Leach-Billy Act.
Okay, please, you are allowed to Google and keep me because I'll ask questions. Like I said, this is an interactive class, please. Can someone just explain to me high level? Just tell me what you understand by Gramm-Leach-Billy Acts. Where's my notes? Gramm-Leach-Billy Acts. What is Gramm-Leach-Billy Act saying? GLBA. See, you come across this. If you are working in the financial industry, I'm listening.
This okay.
John.
My name is Monisala. It gives customer access to their private information between the financial institution and also allow the customer to opt out from the organization at their will.
Okay. Anybody want to try?
Yes. Hi, this is Tommy.
Tommy.
Adeshakin.
Tommy Ogumekon or what?
No, Adeshakin.
Adeshakin. Okay, thank you. I'm listening.
I would say the GLBA, it's an act that kind of secures the way they handle public information about, their or handles personal information basically.
Okay. Anybody want to try?
Yeah, the Jadeoni.
Okay.
It's about customers' personal information sharing and sensitive data. So letting customers know if you want your information to be shared with some of the other organizations that are associated with them, but it's just giving them the leverage. Okay, choose if you want your information to be shared and what information is to be shared to as well.
Okay. Let me ask this question based on what you just mentioned now. What if, because I like scenarios in my class, so it's going to stick. So if I'm working in a banking industry, okay, I'm banking with ABC Bank now, right? And of course, my data was actually breached. What's going to happen? Why do we have GLBA at that point? What's GLBA for? If my data is breached, what's going to happen to? Or yes, my data is breached. What's going to happen? What's GLBA doing for me?
My name is Nike.
Okay.
So I think what GLB is gonna do is they're gonna request for correction because the GLB Act protection. It protects the Privacy Protection Act, something like that. So they have to explain why the data was breached without you not being informed, I think.
That is what I want to hear. That last statement, without me being informed. So GLB is just guiding against that. Okay, if something happened, let them know. You can't actually expose customer data out there. So let me give you this. If you're working in the financial industry, this GLBA will definitely come into place. Why? Once a third party you are trying to onboard into an organization is going to be is going to be having access or sharing or doing anything relating to customer, mark that word, to customer. See, this customer data that you're looking at is very huge in financial industry. As customer information, you have to make sure they have controls in place, big controls, not just small controls. Because if you're having access to any vendor that's actually involved customer information or customer data, we try to want to place them on high risk. If you don't have certain controls in place, it's very huge. So that is where GLBA comes. All right. This actually links to customer data, links to GLBA. We want to be sure because if anything happens, there are fines we need to pay. So that is it. That's GLBA. So compliance there is very key. What about EPA? I will ask a question now. And I want you guys to know IPA. Correct me if I. Can someone tell me a full meaning of IPA? You can Google.
This is Michael Ojetoye.
Michael what?
Ojetoye.
Okay, I'm listening, sir.
HIPAA is Health Information Privacy Protection Act, something like that.
Go. My name is Temi.
Sorry.
Health insurance.
Health insurance,
don't jump in. You need to come out just the way he came out. So I'm listening. Who wants to say something?
I want to say something. My name is Temi.
Okay.
And IPA is a federal government law, and it's Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, founded in 1996.
Okay. Any other person? Some people are raising their hands, but
My name is
sorry,
Adeyemi.
I'm not used to. Huh?
My name is Adeyemi.
Okay, Adeyemi.
Yes, IPA is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability.
All right, thank you. Adeyemi, what's your last name, please?
Burala.
Adeyemi what?
Adeyemi Adedeji.
My name is Kende Olukole. IPA is an Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It is used in the hospitals, clinic, and with insurance providers. This makes sure that the regulations and handling of patient information are regulated.
Okay,
So
thank
that's
you
why
so
IPA
much.
is in place. Thank you.
So,
I'm Olaleye Aluko.
okay, Mr. Leye.
Yeah.
My name is Neil Pump.
No. Hold on, one after the other, please. Mr. Leye wants to say something.
Okay, I think IPA is used to protect patient health information in the hospital.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to give a scenario here, right? And the scenario is, if you're working, okay, see, what do we call data that is deriving from healthcare industry? What do we call it?
Correct.
Who said PHI now? Who said PHI? Huh? Ola what? Okay, I don't have your name. Ola Soji what? Ola Soji, last name. Okay. I think I remember you.
Protected health information.
Okay, so you said PHI. Why for GLBA? What's it called?
PCI.
GLBA.
Leach Billy Act.
No, not the full name. I'm asking if we call data in the healthcare, we call it PHI data. Like, what's the meaning of PHI? Let me even ask.
This is
What?
Tommy. Patient health information.
Protected health information.
Who mentioned this protected health information to me now? What's your name, please?
Mumeni KG Badmus.
Okay.
Mumeni KG Badmus.
Okay, Morani Cage. Okay. All right. So protected health information. While if you're working on the banking industry, what's it called? There's a name for it.
I don't know.
This is Mary.
PCI.
This is Mary. Can I go?
Yes, please.
Personal orders information.
My name is Munisola. That is PCIDSS.
No. That's a standard. There's a name that is called, just as we have IPA, they say it's PHI data. I call it PHI, protected health. So customer data or any sensitive information in regards to financial industry as a name. There's a way we call it. Or there's what we call it rather.
BSA.
No, they don't call it PII. You tried. It's not PII.
BSA.
It's not BSA.
BAA.
It's not. No. Who's just talking? Who is just talking? Is that Miss Monisola?
Yes, sir.
Please, I don't want you to talk anymore because you are wrong.
GDE.
Okay,
yeah, and I'm not happy with it that you are wrong. All right? Because
I think it's personal identifiable information.
BCI.
Not BCI. Not BCI.
I think it's personal identifiable information.
No, that's PI. PI is generic. See, PI that you mentioned, hold on. PI that you just mentioned is if you're working in non-financial industry, like non-financial is not healthcare, they could call it PI. Generic, we call it PI. That's personal identifiable information. But see, this question I'm asking you, I don't know it until I started working in the healthcare, in the financial industry for like up to like 6 months. I keep seeing this. I was like, okay, these are PI, but they don't call it PI in the financial industry. There's a name for it.
GDCE.
Hold on. I like you guys. I just give you.
FDIC.
No, okay. Anyway, it's not. Hold on. Let me say it. Let me say it. You guys are just giving me A, B, C, B, C, D, D, A, A. No.
But then one question for you.
I'm listening,
the
sir.
PCI DSS, right? That has something to do with financial organization, right?
Okay.
But
Do
then
you know what?
I think it's mainly for taking of payments, right? PCI DSS?
No, PCI DSS is a standard. Okay, let me tell you what PCI is. Payment card industry. So any organization this is a standard that is applicable to any organization, not just financial, even healthcare, anywhere. Any organization that is actually accepting payment, credit card, debit card. All right. Once your organization, even if you are, I'm sorry to use, if even though it's a janitorial organization, janitorial firm, but you are accepting debit card or credit card, is going through your infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, like server, your network and the likes, you have to abide with this standard, PCI DSS, payment card industry, data security standard, right? That is it. Not strictly for financial. So it's called, just like we have healthcare, it's called PHI. In the financial industry, it's called NPI. NPI. Can someone tell me the full meaning of NPI?
Oh, yeah.
National Provider Identifier?
No.
National Provider Identifier.
Can you watch my screen?
Non-public information.
Thank you so much. It's called non-public information. These are interview questions. Yes. These are interview questions. Let's move on. Yes, let's move on. I'm enjoying this class anyway, but it's just that I like interactive class. So we are all learning. So we have, as I mentioned, risk posed, I mentioned to you, financial industry have a lot of regulations they need to abide to. If they don't abide by it, I think Morgan Stanley or one of the big banks, is it Morgan Stanley, the Chase Bank, I can't remember, fell into a big debt because Wells Fargo too. No, Wells Fargo had one. I think Morgan Stanley Chase had one recent. I think early last year or 2022. Like they were fined by a body called, I think, OCC. Check what OCC. This OCC is an interview question. If you are trying to work in the financial industry, let me tell you, this OCC. You want to say something?
Office of Control of
the controller. These people will come after you guys if you're working in financial every year. They have to make sure that your third-party risk management is top-notch. If it's not, you'll be fined. Office of the Controller of Currency. Yes, they are the one that they define. They have a bulletin for third-party risk management itself. Yes, Office of the Controller of Currency. They have a defined life cycle body templates that all financial industry have to follow in terms of their third-party risk life cycle. If they are not following it, they'll be fine. So, note that. Let's move on. So these are regulatory landscape of TPRM. We mentioned IPA. Let's talk about IPA. So when I say regulation, so if you are running any TPRM third-party risk management in your organization, and it depends on the organization, of course. If you can't be working in Microsoft and you are abiding by HIPAA, no. This is actually restricted to healthcare industry. Look at GDPR. Can someone tell? Okay, let me start from the top. ISO 27002 or 1, either way. What do you understand by ISO? Anybody want to try?
International standard.
International Standard Organization.
Yes. Can you tell me if I'm interviewing you and I ask you what do you understand by ISO, and you give me International Standard Organization? No, you're just giving me this is an abbreviation. You are telling me the full meaning of that ISO. So I want you to tell me, what do you understand? Anybody, tell me what do you understand. You
Okay,
can
it's a body. I'll continue. It's a body. It's a regulatory body. It makes sure that the companies or all organizations meet up to the particular standard. It's like a form of check and balances to all this body internationally. So they have to meet up to the standard in order not to be, they have to be compliant to meet up to standard. Otherwise, they'll face one form of liability or the other.
Okay.
In terms of,
Okay. I'll give you 50%. Thank you for at least you tried. Anybody want to try? I have people down there. I want to call someone. Mr. Steve.
Hi, my name is Kende.
Hold on. Mr. Steve, are you still in the class? What do you have ISO?
Come.
Please mute yourself if you're not talking. Mr. Steve. Okay, I guess he's sleeping. Okay, anybody want to tell me what ISO is?
Okay, Olaleya Aluko wants to try.
Okay.
Can I talk?
Yeah, talk. Yes.
Okay, I think ISO just help an organization to implement, maintain, and improve its security information.
Okay.
I think that's what they do.
Help which implement and maintain security information
Security
of what?
Information of a company.
Of a company. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want my boss to help me out with this. Mr. Nnamdi, can you please help me out in this ISO? I don't want to talk too much. I think my boss is sleeping. That would not be nice.
Can I contribute briefly?
My name is Adekunle Oni. Can I talk, please?
Okay.
All right. Okay. International standard for organizations actually help to create standards or quality management system that organizations are to abide with. And there are several of them, 14,001, 9,001, the 27002 or 1 that you just mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just give you an high level of this ISO. Yeah, right. See, anything I'm explaining, I'm actually focusing all these things towards third-party risk, right? So, scenario, let me give you a scenario. If you're working as an assessor, a third-party risk assessor, right? If you're trying to use a vendor, and that vendor, there are certain documentations, right? You need to request. Why do we request for this documentation? To be sure that they have controls in place, right? Because you are entrusting them with your data, your organizational data, right? So you need to make sure, okay, they have these controls, certain controls, all these controls in place, right? For you to know that they have all this control in place, you need to request for certain evidence, documentations. ISO is a key documentation. ISO 27001 is a certification. See, this is it. Very easy. Let me show you guys. This is one of them. Yeah. But this one is 9001. This one is about quality management. There are different ISO. But yeah, the one we're looking at, we're focused on is 27001. Let's look for that. So ISO. That's more on the security side of it, not quality. We want to look at 27,000. Right. Am I right? No. Okay. 10. I know. Okay. I'm looking. Okay. I think this one. Yes. You see. So this is example of a certification that your vendor will give you. Let's read this, and I'll tell you what you look out for when you're reviewing. This is an interview question. Note that when you're reviewing ISO 27001 that you are actually getting from your vendor before they are being onboarded, when you're doing your assessment, the certificate, you look at the dates. First of all, you look at the name, fine. You look at the dates of this certification. This is 2019 and we are 2022. If I'm giving this kind of certification, will you accept? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
No.
It's expired. It has expired.
Yes,
I will.
It's not
accept it
correct.
because
Simple.
it's valid to 2022.
Where
To
did you
the
see
end of the
that?
year 2022.
Where did you see that?
At the very end of the year,
At the end of
30/12/22. Yes.
Valid
Thank you so
until
much.
30/12/22.
Thank you so much. That is, I didn't see that, but thank you for picking that. Right. So I will now say this: if you are doing assessments at work, right, and probably just like I didn't say this, there's what we call QA process. QA means it's called peer. They call it, some organization call it peer-to-peer review. So I finished with my assessment. I can pass it. One of the reasons why we do peer-to-peer is what you guys just noted now. I didn't see that 2022, right? So we do peer-to-peer review to note some things that I did not see. So you can capture. If I didn't capture, you captured it, which is good. 2022, so it's correct. It's valid. So this is the initial approval, issue dates, and valid until 2022. Fine. Another thing I need to look out for is it 27,001? You know, the other one we saw was 90, 99, or what's it called? But this is 27,001. Why are we getting 27,001? Because it's security related. ISO 27,000 has 114 controls. 114 controls. You have to pay for that document. So I will explain this because let me show you those controls. I think I have it here. You pay for this, you can't just get it free. My mentor gave it to me. If you are taking my mentor's class, he's gonna give it to you for $500. The class for $500 anyway. I'm not marketing for him, but it's a good class. Very good class. Very good. I took the class as well. Even as my mentor, I took the class. So this is ISO. This is telling us how to implement. ISO is an international standard. It's mostly used in Yankee too, in America, but mostly used in Europe countries, right? It's used by multinational organizations. So what they are doing is they will implement all of these controls. They will implement all of these 114 controls, right? Implement these 114 controls. Once all these controls are implemented in the organization, they will get a certification from ISO, which is what I just showed you guys. That certification is what you can now use to do business. So if my organization, Geosport, wants to make use of DB International to come and help me, maybe I'm trying to buy a software from them. And of course, that software, I'll be using it, I'll be storing, right? I'll be storing some data on that software, on that application. Of course, that application and that data I'm storing in that application is going into the cloud. It's stored into the cloud. Who owns the cloud? DB owns those cloud, right? So I need to know the controls DB has in place on those cloud, on those applications. So I'm getting a certification. They are giving me ISO certification to review. So once I have that certification I just showed you guys, meaning that they've gone through all this, they've implemented all these 114 controls in their organization, all these controls, information security policy, all this control. You see, they go through all this control one after the other. They go through, that means they've implemented all these controls. So I don't need to ask them, okay, what controls have you implemented and all that? No. Once I have that certification, that means they are certified by ISO. You see, these are all these controls. They will implement all of this control. What my mentor do teach is how to implement these controls. There are jobs for this. Deloitte are employing for ISO, just for you to be an ISO implementer or ISO auditor, and it's 125K, I guess. So just for implementing ISO or assessing ISO. So that is it. So if you understand just this document you're looking at, just understand this 30 page, is a skill in security. I don't do training on this. It's done by my mentor, as I said, just $500. If you want to, I'm not marketing. Please don't come and say, oh, this guy is marketing for this guy. I'm not making any money from it. Yes. So because he's very, very good, very sound. And the way he teaches is like he's teaching, he's going to give you real life projects. So I'm even telling him that money is too small. But anyway, let's move on. So this is certification you're getting, ISO 27001. So once I get a certification from you as an assessor from DB International, I will look at the dates, the validity, the certificate number. I will look at this side of it. Why am I looking at this? The Information Security Management System, ISMS, is the name of the body, but ISO is just like the certificates itself, international standard organization, but they call it ISMS. The Information Security Management System is applicable to IT operations department related to development of automation, orchestration, remediation platform, sales, support, and customer success. Why am I reviewing this? I need someone to give me an idea. Why am I reviewing this? Why do I need to review this statement here?
My name is Bukola Ikmadiola.
Bukola
Ikmadiola.
Okay.
Yeah, you may want to review it, so check for like the date and if there's probably any updates on them, any changes rather.
Okay, anybody want to try? Why am I reviewing this?
I'll try. This is Tommy. I'll probably say you're reviewing that to kind of know what the organization does and what kind of, entity they are or what they do.
Okay, can I give it back?
Hi.
My name is Aya.
You are hold on, please. Can you please?
Yeah,
the last one that actually spoke. I'm sorry. The last one that actually spoke was about to eat it on the head, but you didn't get it. You didn't finish it. So anybody want to try?
I want to
sure.
try. My name is Nike.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think you have to review it to see if it is still relevant and if it is current.
Hi,
No,
my name is Taiwo Ajani. Can I go, please?
Yes.
You want to review because they are like, as you said earlier, they are like different. ISO goes to like different kind of organizations. There's a specification that everybody is specialized on. So like we were saying earlier, like ISO 27001, 27001, and 27000.
Yeah.
So you are reviewing this particular section not for the date, but for you to have an idea of their own specific qualification from ISO, like their the authority they have.
Can I try, please?
Name? Oh, Mr.
My
Steve.
name is Steve.
Yeah.
Can I try?
Yes, of course.
Oh, sure.
My boss.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you just do that as you want to check that to be sure it's in scope for whatever you're trying to use that document for. So, like this document you're showing us, and it's saying something about remediation, platform sales, and all that. We want to be sure it's in scope for what we want that document for. Because if it's not relevant, then the validity of the document doesn't really matter at that point. If
Please, you are
Exactly.
speaking, sir. You are speaking too much grammar for us here. We are newbies. Can you please just break it a little bit? I know you're saying the right thing, but please break it. Please, just more simpler explanation. Yeah.
We look at that part of the document to be sure it's relevant to what we need it for.
Exactly.
Thank
It
you so much.
aligns.
Who is
It
that? Who is that
aligns with
person? Who is that person
Ayo.
saying exactly? Oh, which Ayo is that?
Ayo Lukoya.
Okay, I'm trying to look.
It
Ayo.
literally just proves that it aligns with what you want to do.
Ayo Lukoya.
And I said it also at ABE. That's exactly.
Okay.
That
It's relevant to the
what
assessment.
What they offer meets what you need precisely.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. B. Yeah, exactly. So let me tell you what this part is saying. Thank you, Mr. Steve. This place, of course, the service they are rendering, maybe is a scenario. Of course, AU Software Technologies, that's the name of the vendor we're trying to onboard, right? And what AU is doing for us is AU wants to come and helping us in the service they are providing is, let's say, janitorial service. And you are getting a certification from them, from ISO, and it's saying the information security management system is applicable to IT operations, departments related to development of automation or orchestration remediation platform. Is it relating to what the service they are providing?
No.
They are providing janitorial service, and I'm seeing all this. Don't take that certification. So you have to align with the service they are providing. Are you with me, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So that's why we review this. So few things we review here is, I told you one, ISO, the standard itself, the dates. We look at the signature, fine. And we look at the service they're providing, if it's aligned. Someone say something, please. I think someone wants to add. Or anyway, so those are the things you look out for when you're reviewing the certification. Remember, there is a lot of things that have gone behind the scene, which is implementation of control for AU. That implementation takes months, takes at least 2 years. There's one I'm actually going to be running on, a contract coming up in Dubai with my mentor that we are trying to work for Dubai government, doing it together very soon. And it's going to take like 2 years for us to implement the ISO for Dubai government. So it takes time, right? Okay, before the certification actually arrive. All right, let's move on. Do you know why I'm explaining all these things? Normally, I want you guys to understand. I know the time is actually going away, but I never expect we're going to cover. We're still going to be here. I think I would have gone far, but anyway, because I want you guys to understand. Many are called, but few are chosen. I'm taking notes. I'm not supposed to tell you, but you should have an idea. I'm taking notes. All right, let's move on. Where's my slide? So I explained ISO to you guys. GLBA, we've actually talked about GLBA. FFIC, that's an assignment for you guys. FFIC, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards. Let me explain that. Excuse me. Do I have documents for this? I have, but I need to go and pull it up. Give me a second. Okay, we can even get it online. Easy. We can get it online. Okay, let's Google PCI DSS. I explained this to you, but let's Google and I will explain some things. I have another boss here. Latifat. Okay, that's my boss. Probably. Okay, she's nursing. She's doing, what's it called? Babysitting, right? No, yeah, I think I'm right. Don't worry, I won't call you. Let's look at PCI DSS and explain. Is still in class?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Thank you. That's my boss too.
Because I'm not your boss.
PCI DSS. I'm looking for, I have the documents, but I have to go and search it. Well, let me just give you guys this PCI. And I'm looking for full docs. What's happening? I don't want this to take our time. Okay, I'll look for it. Normally, I'm not supposed to take this now, but I want you guys to have idea as we move on. Let me go back. I have this PCI. Okay. Let me see. Oh, this is old. Okay. Yes. Excuse me. Okay. So supporting the PCI change standard. Yeah. Please mute yourself. I'm trying to bring out something here. Video, PCI remote assessment guide. Oh man. You know what? I think I have to, let me see if I have, okay, I'm going to pick up this, but they have 12 requirements. I want to show you guys all the requirements, right? So
sorry, I think I shared the link for the requirements.
Okay. See, what's the name?
Abby.
Send me an IM.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So these are the 12 requirements that organization, which not all organization, if your organization is actually going to involving, you're actually making use of credit card or debit card, anything related to debit card in your organization, you have to isolate those infrastructure. Let me give you example scenario, right? In my company, we have firewalls, we have servers, we have operating system, we have infrastructures as a whole, all those infrastructures, right? In my company. If you are using credit card, what PCI DSS is telling you, the standard is saying is, if you are involving in credit cards, payment cards, separate your infrastructure from every other infrastructure. Make sure that these infrastructures, anything that's any infrastructure that actually involve taking credit card or debit card, isolate them from others. And these are the controls these are the requirements that need to go into it. All these requirements, there's a step. I'm not a PCI DSS expert. I don't know if my boss is here. I have a boss here that is a PCI, Mr. Abiboy. Is Abiboy in this class? Where is my boss? He might not be in the class. I think I sent him to me. Yeah, I'm probably gonna bring him once to come and teach us PCI DSS. So it has 12-step PCI roadmap below. So you have to make sure install and maintain a firewall for anything relating to credit card or debit card itself. Eliminate vendor default setting. What this is saying is, if you buy a particular application or any server, anything relating to, that you're going to be using for your credit cards or debit cards, you have to, it comes with, of course, if you note that if you get a new application or you call customer service, they'll give you a default password, right? Then you can now change it to what you want it to be. So all those things come with a default password. You have to eliminate vendor default password on it. Protect stored cardholder data. Encrypt payment data transmission, as you have to encrypt those data. Update antivirus regularly, very important. So these are the steps you need to take forth, right? And this comfort, see, they have external assessor for this. They call them, can someone remind me? QSA, right? They call them QSA. QSA. Truly all the things you have in place. You have all those 12 requirements in place. All right. They are qualified security assessor. Yeah. Qualified security assessor companies. So it's like an organization, but they will send one of their staff that is qualified to your organization and make sure that, okay, you have all those, you've implemented all those controls, all those requirements in place. Once you have that in place, they will give you what is called attestation of compliance, AOC. This is an interview question. I remember 2019. I was asked this question in an interview. I got the job. I was surprised. Attestation of AOC PCI. What is a PCI AOC? The PCI attestation of compliance is just that an attestation completed by QSC. Can you see that? That states an organization PCI the compliance status. And that also is documented evidence that an organization has upheld security best practice to protect cardholder data. Very easy. So they ask me what AOC. AOC is a document. Let's see if we can see the document online. So it's a document stating, oh yes, that the vendors have actually gone. So if as an assessor, Debbie, before I start using Debbie, I request for ISO, AOC too. If Debbie is going to be having access to credit card information of my maybe customer, as they are providing a service to me or for me, right? And they are going to be having access to anything related to credit card information. I have to request for an AOC documentation from Debbie, who is my vendor. You understand the scope now? So AOC, okay, I'm looking for AOC documentation, right? AOC, sorry, image. I like doing this. If I don't know something, I go to image. So I know the application is somehow. So I think it's something like the acknowledgement of status. Is that like 2 pages or 3 pages? 2 pages or 3 pages? Version 3.2.1 of the PCI. That's the latest version, I guess. See? So that is it. But PCI, if a vendor you are going to hire, you're trying to onboard, is going to be having access or storing anything relating to payment card information, you have to request for AOC from them. Note that. Let's move on. I just explained this. NIST. This NIST you're looking at is similar to ISO. They have controls too that you need to go through. See, this is NIST is too much. Okay, I was telling you that ISO is a what's it called? Is a role on itself, right? Is a field in IT, security itself. Just like we have ISO, right? This NIST is a field on its own, is a profession in security on its own. If you understand NIST, but NIST is actually only used in the US. It's only used in the US. So organizations actually go through NIST, they have to NIST certified before they can do business with anybody, right? Before they can do business with United States government, you have to be NIST. If, for example, my company, which is Geoscore, if I want to do business with the federal government, I want to be a contractor for them, I have to be NIST compliant. So before I become a NIST compliant, I have to go through some controls. So there's a step-by-step approach to this. 7 steps, that's 7 steps, right? So there's a way it's being done. So I have people that are specialized. I have a mentor and I have some friends that specialize in this. It's not my field, right? I don't go from one place to another. I have idea of it, but I'm not going from one place to another, start looking for what I don't need. But it's good to have the knowledge, fine. So it's similar to ISO, but this one is restricted to US. But ISO is multinational. It's all over the place. It's global. So ISO comes first before NIST, but NIST is actually known in the US, I repeat. So that is it. So we don't request anything from NIST. If your vendor is NIST certified, we don't need anything. But ISO is very important from your vendor. The same thing as NIST cybersecurity framework is similar to this. EPA, I explained EPA to you guys, is an act that guide against, just like we have GLBA for the bank, EPA for the healthcare industry. GDPR, this GDPR you are looking at, EU, can someone tell me what GDPR is? Please now.
General Data Protection Regulation.
General Data Protection Regulation Compliance.
Of course.
Can I talk?
This is Abiodun.
Okay, Abiodun, I'm listening.
This is a General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR.
My name is Oye Obade.
Oye.
Yeah, GDPR is a regulatory body for data protection.
My name is Kenge Olukole. GDRP is a privacy and security law in the world, and it's being passed by the EU. That's the European Union.
Okay. Okay. What's your name again, please? I don't know if I have your name down here.
Hello.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, my name is Tommy Ogumeko.
Okay, Olasoji Oladendi, right?
Hello.
Okay, thank you. All right.
My name is Tommy Ogumeko.
Okay, Mr. Tommy.
Yeah, the GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation used primarily in the EU, and its aim is to enhance individuals' control and rights over their personal data.
Thank you. Let me just see. Who is name, please?
Steve.
Name.
Steve.
Okay, Mr. Steve. That's my boss.
Well, basically, like everybody has said, it's an EU regulation, but it has global ramifications. Basically, the purpose is just to protect individuals' fundamental rights and freedom as regards to protection of their personal data.
That's the problem I'm having with my boss right here. Too much grammar.
And there are several principles of the GDPR Act that include you take minimum data as much as possible. Make sure data you're collecting is accurate. You tell them how long are you going to be storing their data. You don't want to keep their data forever. Integrity and confidentiality of this data, accountability and stuff like that. So
thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Those grammar are too big for me. Anyway, thank you so much. So let me just explain to us, Lainma. I told you I don't do this. I don't speak too much grammars in the class, even at work, because it's very important. This is an interview question. Before I explain this interview question, they will ask you. This is an interview. We are not there yet, but this is an interview question. Very important. This question I'm asking, or I'll be explaining this interview question. Out of 10 interviews, 9 they will ask you they will ask you from 9 places. Okay, they will ask you this question: if a business owner, we've not gotten there, we'll explain that part when we get to the practical aspects of third party. If a business owner who needs a vendor, right, does not understand. No, okay. How do you explain gap noted on an assessment? Hold on. How do you explain gap noted on an assessment to a business owner? All right. That's an interview question. Note that down. Let me give you an answer. We'll get there. What they're expecting you to say is you will explain to them in a layman terms, not too much grammar, not too much story, because they are not technology savvy. They don't understand our jargons. For example, a vendor they are trying to avoid does not have a control in place, a particular control in place. Let's say they don't have encryption, which is very important. They need to encrypt data in transit, or data at rest, or data in use. I'm sorry, I'm not going to teach security fundamentals. That's why I say go and read that book. So I used to do that before, but I can't do that for now. So you can't be telling a business owner that needs that vendor and they don't have encryption in place, and they have encryption, they have 3DS, they don't have encryption, what's let's say AES-256 in place. They'll be looking at you, what are you talking about? I just need this vendor. I need you as soon as possible. They are critical to the business. Please onboard this vendor. But you should explain to them what that encryption is all about. What is the effect or the impact of them not having that control in place? That is what I want to hear in the layman term. The impact to the organization, but not that encryption, blah blah. No, that's rubbish. When we get there, you understand what I mean. But this is an interview question. Please note that. Let's move on. So GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. So in third-party risk, whatsoever I'm explaining, I explain it towards third-party risk, right? If you are working as a risk assessor, third-party risk assessor, if your organization, J Hotspur Global Solution, my company, right? I deal in different businesses, as I mentioned to you. I have customers in London, customers all over UK. I have customers in Germany, customers in no, not Russia, most of the EU countries, right? And I'm trying to use a vendor. Please mute yourself if you're not talking. I'm trying to use a vendor, right? And this vendor, they will be having access, or they'll be storing, or they'll be sharing, or they'll be viewing. Please mute yourself, I beg you. If I know who is saying this, I will take the person out of the class. Finally, probably that person is not concentrating because he's not listening to me. I need to know who the person is. Okay, let me move on. So if I don't like to be distracted, please. If you're using this vendor and this vendor will be having access or sharing or viewing or transferring or accessing customer data. Not this. I said my business, Geosport, we have customers in EU countries. You have to make sure that this vendor you are using will be having access to customer data, and this customer data they'll be having access to, that the vendor will be having access to, Debbie International will be having access to, are these EU customer data. You have to make sure that Debbie has control in place in terms of GDPR. GDPR has some regulations, some key regulations that need to follow, right? You have to make sure that you need to know the retention policy. How soon? How many years can they keep data? If my customer wants to, customer in the EU needs, they want to opt out of you storing their data, Debbie has to do that. Make sure that, okay, they are opting it out. There's right for opting, opt out. We'll get there. What to look out for. We are assessing Debbie, because Debbie will having access to vendor, my customer who is in EU. There are certain things you need to look out for. If I'm doing business with Debbie, or if Debbie is doing business with me, or Debbie is my vendor, there are certain controls I need to make sure I look for. We will get there. Don't worry. I don't want to be fast forward on that. There are certain controls. I don't know if you guys understand what I just explained to you.
Yes.
Or if you want me to explain again, I can.
Please explain again, sir.
Okay. The thing is, Debbie International is my vendor. Debbie is a vendor to Geosport Global Solution, right? Debbie is a vendor. My organization is called, my org is called Geosport Global. Geosport Global have customers in EU countries, European Union countries, right? And this GDPR only covers EU customers, right? There are certain things you look out for when you're dealing with EU customers when it comes to GDPR. So Debbie is working for me. Debbie is my vendor. Debbie International is my vendor. And Debbie will be having access to these EU customers data as a provide service for me. Let me tell you what Debbie is providing for me. Debbie is providing a solution. When I say solution, I'm referring to technology or software, right? They're providing a software for me. Debbie is providing software. What kind of software is Debbie providing? Maybe Debbie is providing a financial software that will be used in Geosport for me. And this financial software will be storing customer, let's say customer financial reports, their financial statements, all those things. That is EU customer financial statements. Before I use Debbie, I have to assess the application, the software I'll be using, because that software will be storing EU customer data. And I have to abide in Geosport, we have to abide by GDPR. Because of that, I have to make sure I'm assessing Debbie, because Debbie having access to EU customer data of my organization. For me to use Debbie, I have to make sure that in Debbie's software, there are certain controls that GDPR mentioned that I need to look out for, making sure that Debbie has before I onboard them, before I get this software. Because if I just get this software and I'm storing EU customer data and something happened, there's a breach, I will be held responsible, right? But for me not to be held responsible, there are certain controls I need to look out for, because they are storing, that application will be storing EU customer data. There are certain controls. I won't mention one of them. I will only mention one, but when we get to that stage, you will see it, right? One is notice dates. If you open an application, remember when I opened the application not quite long about PCI DSS. Let me go back there again. PCI DSS. No, let me use my Google Chrome. I like to explain. So this is one of the controls I look out for in the application Debbie is trying to provide. Right? This, let me go. For example, this PCI DSS now. So there's something I'm looking out for. Okay, it's not on this. You will see these are part of the things I need to look out for. If you are doing scanning of your vendor that you're trying to onboard and they'll be having access to EU customer data. Let me go to that PCI DSS form again. What's that there as a website? PCI. You guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to just say it. Look at, you see this? What can you guys see? Tell me. What my cursor is?
Accept.
Okay, I'm sure you guys do see it a lot, right?
Yes.
So if there is nothing like accept, that means they are trying to say they want to start. If you click this accept, that means you'll be storing anytime you go into this website, you log in, you create an account, it's storing cookies, it's storing every of your information. So that means you're accepting to do this. You can decline. There should be an option to decline. So that is one of the controls GDPR put in place, that customers have the right to accept or decline. Customers have the right to opt in and opt out. There is a form, there should be a form here that says, okay, I don't want you to store my data anymore. I want to receive all my data. So those are controls I need to look out for in the application before I get the application from Debbie International. You see, let's read this. This website stores cookies on your computer. These cookies are used to collect information about how you interact with our website and allow us to remember you. We use this information in order to improve and customize your browsing experience and for analytics and metrics about our visitors, both on this website and other media. To find out more about the cookies we use, see our privacy policy. Let me click it. This is their privacy policy. You see, collection of your information, personal data, financial data, data from social network, Facebook permission, mobile device data, third-party data, use of your information, what they are using your information for. You can opt out. So GDPR have this thing in place that, see, if I'm getting an application from Debbie, they have to write this private, they have to have this privacy policy. You have to have all these things. That is it. I hope you guys are getting it.
Yeah.
So these are one of the things that you see, California privacy rights. So remember, I talk about EU. So it's similar to California too. If you have customers in California, right? If GeoSport has customers in California, they have to make sure there are certain controls. It's similar to the control of EU customer too. California Privacy Act is California Consumer Privacy Act, that's CCPA. That's another act, but for California customers, right? You see, California Civil Code, blah, blah, also known as the Shine the Light Law, permits our users, that means users of this system, users who are California residents to request and obtain from us once a year and free of charge. So this is it. I can opt out. California customers can opt out easily because they have laws. If you are under 18 years of age, reside in California, and have a registered account with the site, you have the right to request removal of unwanted data that you publicly post on this site. To request removal of such data, please contact us using the contact information provided below and include the email address associated with your account. So these are the rights I need to look out for before I get that application from Debbie, because I have customers' information in California or in EU that will be stored in the application. If Debbie does not have all these things, I may not use, I will not use the application. I will not onboard them. That is part of your job. Don't worry. When we get there, I will tell you the things we'll look out for. These are part of it. All right. Any questions?
Yes,
I know we are running
Mr.
out of
John,
time.
I have a question.
Please ask.
Yeah, I want to know because the GDPR, like you said, is for the EU. What is
EU,
the
yeah.
equivalent of this GDPR in the US? What body?
Yeah, so thank you. It's not, you know the way I'm not a politician, I'm not good in governments, I'm not good in all this stuff. So, but if I have the opportunity to be appointed, I will learn it. So the thing is, if let me explain this. You know the way US governments, US the country is here is state by state have their laws, unlike in Nigeria. No, I don't know what is there's a name called. I don't know what the name is. If someone can help me out. If someone can help me out. Who did this? Who did this, Mark?
You did, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know that. So anyway, there's a name. Okay. The name, I don't know, maybe it's confederalism. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not good at. So the thing is, in US, each state has their laws. If you notice that. So
Are you saying autonomy?
I don't know, maybe it's autonomy. I don't know, maybe it's called autonomy. I'm sorry. But let me just explain. So the thing is, in US, just like Europe, in UK or in London, in UK, let's say United Kingdom itself, is one government. EU is EU, GDPR is GDPR. But in US, each state has their privacy laws. But the one that is more recognized is the CCPA for California. All right. So California has its own. Texas does not have one. So if you have customers in just Texas, you are fine. Even though the websites you are trying to get customers you are just dealing with customers in Texas, right? You don't need to go through all those controls, look for all those controls I was looking at. But if you have customers in these specific areas I mentioned that have these regulations, these privacy acts, like CCPA, which is California, or in EU, you have to follow those controls.
Okay.
So that's the difference. So in US, yeah, I heard New York is also trying to come up with a privacy act and some other states. But as of now, it's only California that has that privacy act that needs to be followed.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, I've explained both. Wow. Data governance. I think I might round up. Next class might be 3 hours because the way I'm explaining things, it takes time. So, and I want to do this class for 3 weeks, or else you guys want to do it for 4 weeks. Fine. And I can do 2 hours.
I'm so sorry to cut you short, sir. I really apologize for cutting you short. But
no, that's fine.
I'm not sure if I am the only one. I'm in Toronto at the moment. I'm in Canada. And most of the things you've been talking about, my name is Tommy Ngumeko.
Okay.
Most of the things you've been talking about are applicable to the US. I would like you to let us know if most of these things are also applicable to
yes.
Because I'm a newbie.
Yes. So, like the privacy act I just mentioned, right? I don't know the one for Canada. One of my friends should be in the club. One of my guys that actually got a job. He knows about the ones in Canada. So you can Google privacy acts in Canada, right? So it's similar. Google the privacy acts, and these are the kind of controls too, right? I don't know if you understand. But for the PCI DSS, it's general. For the ISO, it's general.
Okay.
But the privacy act is the one that is different, state by state or country by country. You get what I mean? But others are global.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, bro. So, data governance. What do you understand data governance? So, is more or less saying, okay, you have to govern your data. The data that you are entrusting with your vendors, right? You have to know where the controls in place. You have to know where those data are going. That's why we request for what's called data diagram or network diagram. Let's Google. That's my friend right there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Network. These are one of the things we request, network diagram. or segmentation. Let me show you network diagram. So yeah, this network we request for. I'm not a network guy, but we are not network guy. But you need to know. You just have idea. So where your data is going, just have idea of where your data is going. These are firewalls, right? Look at what firewalls is. This is the internet. This is a firewall. This is cell phone. External web browser. External review. Review via Citrix. So VPN, you log in through VPN, tablets, multi-patient monitor, all these things. I know it's like a film trick for you guys, but the cocoa is this firewall right here is very important to secure. You have to be behind this firewall. Your company have to be behind this firewall, right? All these things are external. So you have to have firewall in place. So what are they trying to say here? Let's go back to data governance. So where your data is going, I have a data diagram, right? Of where your data is going. So let me give you a scenario of this data flow. Why do we have to do this? To have track record of where your data is going. Who is accessing your data? Who are the third parties? Let me explain this. I don't want to use some languages. So okay, let me explain all these jargons for you guys. In real time, right? Debbie International is actually working for me. Is a vendor for me, right? Will definitely be a vendor on my part. And I'm trying to know where my data is going. I will be asking the team, the Debbie team, my data, my customer data or my employee data, go reside into the application I'm getting from you. Please mute yourself. The application I'm getting from you. This application will be storing data. I will ask, where is the data that will be stored in those applications? Where is it going? Data, Debbie International team will tell me, oh, it's storing in the cloud. This cloud is being stored on. Who owns that cloud? Is it for Debbie? Is the cloud for Debbie or a third party or a fourth party? Now, if they said, okay, is Amazon Web Services, they are storing the data, every data of their clients. That's Debbie telling me this, that every data of their clients is being stored on the cloud. And who owns the cloud? The cloud is owned by Amazon, right? At that point, I'm trying to track where my data is going. GeoSpot is trying to track all of data. That's data governance. So at that point, I need to do what from David? Tell David. That means Amazon is a fourth party to me. I need to know, David, what control do you have in place for the fourth party, which is Amazon? David will provide to me the controls because that's where my data is storing on the cloud, and they don't own the cloud. But if David is telling me they own the cloud as well, I'm fine. But if David doesn't own the cloud, he's saying it's Amazon or Azure, I need to ask for some controls the fourth party owns. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely clear.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Making sense.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you need to track data. That's what this data governance is saying. A third party is entrusted with your organization data, should have controls to manage the life cycle of your data. Yes. They may have the control to manage the life cycle of my data. Organization should also take appropriate steps. That is me. Also take appropriate steps to protect against data corruption and unintended disclosure of my data. At this point, Debbie needs to sign what is called an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, with me. That okay, data will not be disclosed to anybody and all that. There are certain things we'll put in an NDA. Organization needs to document the data flow Yes, I need to document the data flow to maintain record that track the location for access. For example, they're telling me, okay, data center. I will ask this. I asked from Debbie, this customer data that is stored in the cloud, and you said the cloud is owned by Amazon, right? Where is the data center, the physical location of Amazon? They will tell me, okay, let me note this. Amazon will never disclose if it's Houston or if it's Dallas. They will just say, okay, they're in the South region or it's in the West region. But still, you need to ask, right? How's the location? If your data is going out of United States, you need to know the country the data is going to. There are some countries that are high risk. I don't want to mention names of high risk country here, but there are some countries that are high risk. If your data is going to high risk countries, be careful. Speak to your manager, speak to the business owner about it. I'll tell you who the business owner is when we get to that stage. Right? So you have to location for access, where they are processing data, or retention outsourcer need to track, monitor and maintain inventories of the data managed by third party and any fourth party or subcontractors. Amazon is a subcontractor to me now, or is a fourth party. Another way of noticing a subcontractor is I gave Debbie is the one that is providing service. Let me use janitorial service, for example. Steve clean janitorial service. He's cleaning my office in Geosport, right? And Steve Clean is telling me that who is my third party? He's telling me, oh, I'm short staffed and I'm gonna hire a fourth party that will be cleaning for you guys. The fourth party is called Michael Ojetoye Services. At that point, Michael to me is a fourth party. Please mute yourself. At that point, Michael to me is a fourth party. I have no business with Michael Ojetoye Services. I have business with Debbie, with Steve, clean janitorial service. I will hold Steve clean responsible if anything happens, but not Michael. Because Michael is my subcontractor. I just need to know who Michael is. Steve Clean, janitorial will tell me who Michael is. They control, how do they monitor Michael? It's going to let me know. Those are evidence I need to request from them as regards to subcontractor side. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is 11:58 CST. In the next class, okay, in 2 minutes, this is what we know. Personally identifiable information. These are the things we spoke about. These are PRIs and the likes. When I say PRI, we're talking about sensitive information, social security number, place of date and place of birth, mother's maiden name, all those things are PRIs. For example, a user IP address as used in communication exchange is classed as PRI. So your IP address is more like a physical address. But IP address is like, look, my system that I'm using, I have an IP address. It's more like a physical address. So it's a PII, it's a personally identifiable information that can use to identify me. Anyway, these are sensitive information that you must not be disclosed. That's what PII is anyway. 2 types of PII, basic and sensitive. Physical, last name, first name, phone number, street address. Logical, email address, IP address. These are logical. These are the things that you can't. Last name are me, physical, my name, John, my last name, which you know. But in some organization, note this, in some organization, they don't classify this as PI, they classify as public information anyway. It depends on the organization you're working. So sensitive information, these are very key. Social, driver's license, date of birth, these are very sensitive to an organization. Okay, these are PHI. Remember I told you medical information that identify a state of health condition and is directly tied back to an individual. Of course, I can't tell Steve to go to my GP. In UK, they use GP anyway. To my to see my what's it called?
PCP.
Yeah. So I can't tell Steve to go and no, Steve can't just go. and say, okay, I want to get John's medical information, like the X-ray I did, everything related to my history. No, I have to give Steve permission. Oh, Mr. Steve is even a nurse. Used to be a nurse. Now an IT guy. Mr. Steve, am I right? Okay. I think Mr. Steve left. Okay, guidance is issued under US. So these are basically PHI, protected health information that we all know. So I think, okay, this is the credit card also. It's PCI, CHD, card holder data. This is what I'm talking about. These are sensitive information to, remember I was explaining this when I was explaining PCI DSS, credit card information, very key. They are sensitive information too. You see, the payment card industry standard set operation to protect this information, payment card receipts, electronic payment card transaction record, and the likes. So I'm just looking for a, hold on. Okay, good. Okay, good. So data location, I explained data location. What your data, your backup location is, your subcontractor, I mentioned that you need to know who your subcontractor is. If he's doing a cross-border, maybe to some high-risk countries, out of the country, where your data is, you have to make sure you know the data locations and all that. So that is it. I've given you some explanations, just high level of third-party risk. So from next week, we start going to the life cycle. Now we'll be going into, from next week, we'll go into practical side of it. When I say practical, that is what you come across on the job. All right. So we have practical approach of how we do assessments. Practical approach, third-party risk assessment life cycle. We're starting that from next week. All right. Any question? I have 74 people in this class that actually, we started with 80 something, a few people left. I will note those that actually left. I will note it down because when I started, I said 2 hours. I said 4 hours, but I purposely did not mention. I think I mentioned 2 hours later. But that means this for 74 people are those that are actually committed to this class. So, any question?
So I have a question. My name is Alechiche.
Okay.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, so this third-party risk, is it basically for consumer only or with the company and consumer itself? What does it protect? Both consumer and both the company itself,
yes.
right?
Yes, it's third-party risk. You are protecting the risk of, you are protecting your customer, and you are protecting your employee. That is, you are protecting your employees, the company itself, and also your customers as well. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Yeah. I want to ask also. My name is Adebi. Okay. Is this a subset? A third-party risk is a subset of cybersecurity?
Yes, please.
Then also, it's a big what adjective would I use to call it?
Is generally known. Is a big side of cyber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's a big side of cyber. You can Google on LinkedIn, on Indeed, you see a lot of jobs on it. Any other question?
Yes. My name is
I'm taking 3 more questions because I promised to stop later. Okay.
I just want to ask if we're going to be given, as the classes go by, real life scenarios and practice and work.
Yeah, that's what we're starting from next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Tope, sir. Tope. I want to know, is it possible to get the recordings to do like a continuous study?
Many are called, few are chosen. I'm gonna give, but I know those I'm gonna give. So just put that. I'm not giving everybody. I'm not sharing this for everybody. There are few people I'm gonna give, and I know how to pick. I have a sampling method of giving people. I'm noting people down, so note that. And okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sorry, excuse me. My name is Taiwo Ajani again.
Can we have like any sort of assignment or something to work on before next lesson?
Bro, we just
have an
start the class,
assignment
man. Come on, man.
He gave
There's
us
an
one
What,
already.
assignment
what,
already.
come
Mentioned
on,
it
we
would
just,
give us more work.
now, wow.
One assignment already.
There's an assignment already.
Assignment
Okay, sorry guys.
Please, I'm sorry to say this. Please, if someone asks, I said it from the onset. Please don't be rude to each other. I understand. See, I don't make him feel uncomfortable asking questions in the next class.
Sorry
Please.
about that.
No, that's fine. I understand. I'm very aggressive too. I have this hot temper issue, but don't worry. I said it from the onset. No stupid questions, right? Right. So let's be lenient to each other, please. Your question is your assignment, right? I gave FFIEC. FFIEC. Go and look for what that is. FFIEC. In the next class, I will ask. And again, I said from next week, I'll be giving assignments.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
My
Please,
name
I'm
is
sorry
Bukola.
for what happened. Please.
No,
Yeah.
My name is Bukola Ipadiola again.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask, are we going to have material for the class?
That's a big question. I don't give materials. I don't give my materials, but many are called, few are chosen. So one more question, we'll round it up. Yeah, one more question, we'll round it up. Okay. What's your name again, please? Olasoji Oladende. Okay. Let me ask you one question. Have you taken any training before on security? Okay, because your questions actually gave me an idea of who you are anyway. Okay. Take your question again, please. That question, I won't answer that question now because we have 73 people and they need to go through. We'll get there. I won't answer that question now. Yeah, we'll get there. Yes.
No.
I have my boss here too, so he will actually speak on that too when we get there.
Hello?
But we'll get there. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hello.
Do you know what? If you have question, please send me ahead. I don't want to keep others waiting. We promised to finish 12. So I know others are waiting. They are mad that we need to leave here, but because I don't want this guy to take me out of this class. That's why I'm waiting. We are done. Please, if you have questions, I know I've been there. If you have questions, send me a message, please. Please, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not rude.
Thank you, sir. You're not.
Welcome.
You've done well. God
But
bless you.
I like parties. I like parties a lot. My weekends are for parties.
Sir. You've done well.
So,
Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you, sir.
don't worry.
Thank you.
Thank you,
When you get a job,
Thank you,
when you
sir.
get a
Thank
job,
you.
bye-bye.
Mr. John.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
John.
Mr.
Have a
John.
wonderful